normally prefix. So the prefix for one, mono. Mono. So these are called monomials. If I put a plus sign in between there now there's two things. The terms are separated with pluses and minuses. Those are two terms. What do you call something with two? What's the prefix for two? If you have one of those things with two wheels, what do you call it? Bicycle? BI? So this is called a binomial. This is called a monomial. Oops, I was going to just... Mono is one. And what do I call it if I have 2x plus y minus z? Now I have 1, 2, 3 of those. Trinomial. And anything more than 3, we usually just throw it all into the category of polynomial. Tri means 3, poly means many. So 1 is mono, 2 is bi, 3 is tri, and more than 3 is polynomial. So what we're going to do today, it says there, we're going to be adding and subtracting polynomials. And really, you're just combining like terms. That's what it means to add polynomials. So if I have something like this, negative 6x third plus, oh help me, 3x squared plus x squared minus plus 6x to the third minus 5. Well, before I do that one, if I ask, oh, right, can you guys even see? Now, can you see that? Okay. Start on the bottom one. If I asked you to add this, just basically combine the like terms, right? You would know how to do that, wouldn't you? What would you do? Well, I've got some x's here. I'd put those together. What would that give me? How many x's do we assume here? 1 plus 3x, what would that be? 4x. What about the y's? Negative 6y plus 6y. Add those up. 0, right? They cancel. And so that takes care of this one and this one. And then I have a minus 5 with nothing else. So there's my answer. I just get 4x minus 5. And when we say we're going to add polynomials like this section says, that's all we're going to do is combine the like terms. Now, remember, like terms, though, they could be the same letters, x's with x's, y's with y's. But what happens when you have exponents? I have some x to the third, some x squared. Can I just put those all together because they're all x's? No. No. Not only do they have to be the same letters, but you can only combine x squareds with other x squareds. You have to have the same exponent on those letters. So I can only put x to the thirds with other x to the thirds. What does that give me? How many x to the thirds? None, right? I have negative 6 and positive 6 of those. I don't have any left. 6 take away 6 is 0. What about the x squareds? We assume there's 1 there. 1 plus 3 is 4x squared. And then I have that minus 5 down there. So not only do the letters have to be the same, but they also have to have the same exponents in order to be like terms. You knew that, right? You knew that? So how about adding something like, this? How about adding 3x squared y plus 4xy squared minus 2y3 plus x squared y plus 3y3. Can you guys at home see this? Nope, they can't. Now we're good? Well, when you're adding, you don't really even need the parentheses, right? Just add them up. I just like to write it like this then. 3x squared y plus 4x squared y. Oops, I screwed up. X y squared. And then we're just adding these. X squared y plus 3. And now it's just like what we did over here. You can only add things together that have the same letters raised to the same exponents. So here's what I suggest. After you write this down, I bet you have good internet here though. Well, you said you couldn't do the assignment because you didn't have good internet. I bet you have good internet here. So here's what I recommend. I just like to start with the first thing, and I go through and see if I have any more of those. So this one has to have an x squared and a y to the first. This is not an x squared, so I can't combine it. That doesn't even have an x. I think that's an x squared and a y to the first, right? I'm going to underline it. Do I have any more? No. So isn't this like one of those? One of those and 3 more of those. How many does that give me? 4. Of those same, they stay the same. They're x squared y's. So that takes care of this one and this one. And then I just move on down the line. Do I have any more with an x to the first and a y squared? Move on down the line. X to the first, y squared. Nope, nope, nope. So guess what? Nothing to put with it. Y to the third. Do I have any other y to the thirds? 3 of those. Take away 2 of those. Uno? So you can either put a 1 y to the third or just y to the third if you want to put a 1. I don't really care. And then all the way down this thing, there's nothing else to put with it. Does that make sense? So this whole thing would be my answer then. Does that make sense? That makes sense. I like to write it down, and that way you can also make sure you didn't forget anything, because every single one of these has some sort of a mark. I either put a line under it or I circled it when I was looking for like terms. So then you can also make sure you didn't forget anything. Now, what about if I had the opposite? Well, first, do you have any questions so far? that? Have you done this before? Maybe, maybe not. So what if I had this? Y plus 4. Looks like almost the same exact thing so far. Except now I want you to subtract it. Well, when you subtract, the first quantity stays the same. Don't worry about that one. You don't do anything to it for now. The second quantity, remember, you're subtracting everything in that second quantity. We're subtracting everything. So there's two ways you can think of it. You're subtracting, you're subtracting, you're subtracting. Or if you want, you could think of it as a -1 there, and you're minusing, you're distributing that -1. Well, in any case, so you're going to be minusing that. You're going to be subtracting the next thing. And you're going to be subtracting the last thing. Now, be careful. We're subtracting -4. How do you subtract -4? How do you subtract -4? How do you subtract -4? Do you add it? Just shake your head a little bit. You subtract -4 by adding it. And once you have it like this, now you just combine the like terms. So I've got 3 of those x squared y's. I screwed up right here, didn't I? Oh, I'm going back to bed. See that? It's an xy squared, it's an xy squared. Do I have any more of these? You tell me. Do I have any more x squared y's? Right there. So how many x squared y's do I have altogether? 3. Take away 1. How many is that? 2. Then what? 4 x squared y's. Do I have any other x squared y, xy squareds? I said it wrong. I said it wrong. I said it wrong. Xy squareds. Do I have any other xy squareds? No. So plus 4x. There, I wrote it right this time. How about y to the third? Here's another y to the third. -2 of those, -3 of those. How many does that give me altogether? -5. And then last, I have this +4 with nothing to combine with. So there's my answer if I subtract it, going way downhill. I'm getting lower and lower and lower. Does that make sense? Now, just one quick thing, maybe 2 quick things. Do you have questions so far? There's some in the book where you have to add them like this. 5y minus 3. 5x squared plus 7x, take away 4. 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. And they say add that. Well, guess what? When they say add this one, it's a lot easier to do because they're already lined up. You know how we had to search through the line of stuff to find like terms? You don't have to search. Look, they already lined them up for you. You're just supposed to add those up. Isn't that easy? That's going to go a lot quicker. You might not even have to show work for these because guess what? You can just add it up. What's 5x squared and 2x squared? I think it's 7x squared. I have 7x, take away 3x. Is that 4x? And I have negative 4 plus 1. And there we go. And there we go. That's it. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about that. Do you have questions? Are there any questions? Does anyone have a question? Anyone? Anyone? I changed my mind on the assignment a little bit. So I'm on page 148. I have OE. We're going to go 17 to 25. And WE 9 to 20 and 31 to 40. How about that? 9 to 20, 31 to 40. I bet they'll go quick. Are we good? Are you guys good? Oh no, I just noticed someone had a message. It's blurry. What do you mean it's blurry? I think there's, oh, I guess there's not. I thought there was a focus on this thing. I don't think there's a focus. Why is it blurry? Oopsie. Is it blurry now? Is it blurry? It's still blurry? Any suggestions? There's no focus on it. Is it better now? Is it blurry? Wait, go back here. Is it blurry for everyone back there? No. Could it be the internet? Could it be the internet? It could be the internet. Because not everyone's saying it's blurry. Oh boy. Not everyone's, is it blurry still? No. Some people are saying it's blurry for you. Mine isn't blurry. So could it be the internet? Maybe just go back and watch a little bit once I get it posted. Combine the like terms. And then let me know if you need help, okay? All right? I'm going to post it quick. Oh, which, by the way, it's still going.